Hey everyone, today's video is about when he gets flustered when you compliment him. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And let's get going. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm orange glow over the city of Mischifu. You stood in your apartment's kitchen, humming a tune as you prepared dinner. The scent of simmering spices filled the air, mingling with the evening breeze, drifting in through the open window. It had been a long day, but you also looked forward to these moments, the quiet, domestic moments with Katsuki. Just as you were finishing up, you heard the front door open. "I'm home," Bakugou's gruff voice called out. You could hear the exhaustion in his tone. Being the number one hero wasn't easy, and today had been particularly rough. "Hey," you greeted, turning to face him with a smile. "Dinner's almost ready. How was work?" He walked into the kitchen, his usual confident swagger, lightly muted. "Long. Had to deal with a bunch of idiots who thought they could rob a bank and just get away with it." You chuckled, knowing how much he hated dealing with what he called small-time criminals. "Well, you're home now. Why don't you go take a shower? Dinner will probably be ready when you're done." He grunted in acknowledgement and headed towards the bathroom. You could hear the water running as he set the table, placing the dishes down with care. By the time Katsuki reappeared, freshly showered and dressed in comfortable clothes, he had everything ready. He sat down at the table, eyeing the food appreciatively. "Smells good," he admitted, though his tone was still gruff. He smiled, sitting across from him. "Thanks, Katsuki. I made your favorite." As you both started eating, the conversation flowed easily. You talked about your day, shared little anecdotes, and laughed at each other's jokes. It was one of those rare, perfect evenings where everything seemed to fall into place. At one point, you looked at him, his face relaxed and small, content smile playing on his lips. The sight made your heart swell with affection. "You know, you're amazing," he said softly, almost without thinking. Katsuki looked up, a faint flush creeping up his neck. "What are you talking about?" he grumbled, though his eyes held a mix of surprise and something softer. You reached across the table, taking his hand in yours. "I mean it. You're an incredible hero. And you work so hard every day. You're always there for me. And I'm really proud of you." He stared at you, clearly flustered. His usual confident demeanor was nowhere to be found. "Shh. Quit staying soft like that," he muttered, looking away. But his grip on your hand tightened slightly. You couldn't help but smile at his reaction. "Why not? It's true, you deserve to hear things like these." He was quiet for a moment, clearly struggling with how to respond. Finally, he muttered, "It's just embarrassing, okay?" You laughed softly. "There's nothing embarrassing about being appreciated, Katsuki." He looked back at you, his eyes softer than you've ever seen. "Yeah, well, thanks," he said, his voice barely above whisper. You squeezed his hand gently. "Anytime. I love you, Katsuki." He squeezed back, his flustered expression giving way to a rare, genuine smile. "I love you too, idiot." After dinner, you both settled on the couch, snuggling close as you watched a movie. Katsuki's arm was wrapped around you, and you could feel the steady beat of his heart against your back. It was moments like these that reminded you just how lucky you are to have him in your life. As the movie played on, you found yourself drifting off, lulled by the warmth of his embrace and the comforting sound of his breathing. Just before you fell asleep, you felt him pressing a soft kiss to your forehead. "Good night," he whispered, his voice gentle and full of love. "Good night, Katsuki," you murmured, a smile on your lips as you slipped into a peaceful sleep. In that quiet moment, with the city lights twinkling outside and the world feeling perfectly right, he knew that no matter how tough things got, you and Bakugou would always have each other, and that was more than enough. The next morning, you woke up to the soft light of dawn filtering through the curtains. You turned over to find Katsuki still asleep beside you, his features relaxed and peaceful. It was a rare sight, and you couldn't help but watch him for a moment, feeling a surge of affection. Slipping out of bed quietly, you made your way to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. You wanted to surprise him with everything special, a little thank you for all he did. You whipped up some pancakes, bacon, and eggs, the smell filling the apartment and eventually waking Katsuki. He shuffled into the kitchen, still looking a bit sleepy, but already more alert than most people would be. "What's all this?" he asked, raising an eyebrow as he took in the spread on the table. "Just thought I'd make you a nice breakfast," he said with a smile. "You work so hard, Katsuki. You deserve it." He looked at you, his eyes softening slightly. "You're too good to me, you know that." He shrugged playfully. "I just love you, that's all." He grumbled something under his breath, but sat down, clearly appreciating the effort. You both ate in comfortable silence for a while, the morning sun casting a warm glow over everything. After breakfast, Katsuki leaned back into his chair, a content look on his face. "You're really something, aren't you?" You laughed, shaking your head. "I'm just me, Katsuki." "Well, I'm lucky to have you," he said, his voice unusually soft. He reached across the table, taking his hand in yours. "I'm truly the lucky one. You're the best thing that ever happened to me." He looked down at your joined fingers, his thumb rubbing circles on your skin. "You always know what to say to make me feel better," he admitted, a rare vulnerability in his voice. "That's what partners are for, right?" "Yeah." You spent the rest of the morning together, just enjoying each other's company. There were no grand gestures or dramatic declarations, just the quiet, steady presence of someone who truly cared. And you settled in for the evening, curled up together on the couch. Katsuki's arms wrapped around you, and you could feel the steady beat of his heart against your back. It was a simple moment, but it meant everything. "I love you, Katsuki." "I love you too, idiot." Thank you guys for listening. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and goodbye!